today we're going to show y'all how to transport a 3-tiered wedding cake.
Transpo, if you will.
Transpo, yes. Over to a venue. Now we're bringing it over a day ahead of the wedding. It's at my niece's house. So we're not going to put it together and then bring it over and then it's the wedding. So we're just going to show y'all what we're going to do.
Why aren't we putting it together first? Is it because it's 1,000 degrees outside?
It is hot, and because we have the option of putting it together at their house, stacking it, and waiting for it to be presented tomorrow. So there's no point.
Way better option.
And their road is really bumpy, so I was like, this is it. But in another video, we'll show y'all how to stack them and deliver them.
When we feel like destroying a cake and our vehicles and our clothes.
I mean, it'll be fine. You just got to get a down, but that's for another video. But all right, I'll show you how to do this.
All right, saddle up, partners. Let's go.
Okay, this is origami, guys. So we put this little box together. You want to leave one flap open so that way you can have easy access to the cake. You know how that goes.
It's easier than trying to drop it.
If you have a bigger, you can always get a bigger box if there's not the right size. This is an 8-inch, and this is an 8-inch that the cake is on top of. But if you happen to get a bigger box, Teresa just came up with the perfect solution because they slide around in those bigger boxes. You can do a damp paper towel and put it underneath, and it won't move around in the car. Or if you have some kind of, what is this?
It's like, we call them grippies. They're like jar openers, or you put them in the bottom of your silverware dish. Silverware drawer.
Yeah, silverware drawer. People put them in their
shelf liners.
Yeah, shelf liners.
Or like the grippy rubber. Or sometimes I put them under my rugs so they move around.
Oh yeah, that's smart.
Hardwood.
Yeah. So something that just won't slide around. That's a really good idea.
And you put it down.
No one ever talks about that.
In your car before you, because watch this. Here's an example. Right, this on here. Whoa, it's sliding. You put the grippy on here.
Not moving around.
It's not moving.
That's a good idea.
You're smart.
Sometimes.
I get one.
Okay, so
don't praise me too soon. We haven't got there.
you just slide it on in. Perfect fit. And then we're just gonna close it up. And these boxes are not for stability. They are to protect the cake from any kind of like floaters, hair, or anything like that, so it doesn't get on the cake. Okay, hopefully we used the right top. I think we did.
Because that'll tuck into here.
Now, if you have a cake that's taller than this box, you have to be careful. It does have these slits right here, where if you want it down low, or if you need to raise it up so the cake doesn't hit the box, make sure you pay attention to that. But
you'd even get away with putting a toothpick in or something so you know when it hits.
Yeah, something in there. Okay.
So we're just going to tuck in the bottom?
Or should we do that? Let's do the second one.
Yeah.
Just in case it does something weird.
I'll hold these in place. We did it.
And then you can always tape it, which
I was
I'm going to
say.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tape it, keep it in place.
So that's the baby.
Okay, this is a 10-inch. Let me get a 10-inch. This one, I had to go to 2 different stores, y'all. They didn't have the right sizes for everything. So this one's just a clear box that I found.
So this will be too small, too short.
This is going to be too short, but I'm going to show y'all a trick on what you can do. So, like before, leave the front part open.
Tuck your ears.
And you always want to tape this too because they fall out easily.
Right, yeah. Where's your tape?
I'll do that at the end. Okay, so this one is slightly smaller than the box. And it's moving around town.
Let's get it.
We're going to get a grippy. I just have a little damp washcloth. Not saturated, just a little tiny bit. This is another way to keep it in place if you don't have these things.
Yeah, and we're saving these for the car.
Yep.
We're nervous because we heard it's a bumpy ride. I think it's a gravel driveway, isn't it?
She said it's gravel. I'm going to go slow.
Ooh.
See, easy, the side, hit the cake there, but good thing it's a little... Yeah, you know what you're
UK
doing.
blue tape.
Painters. No, it's not. It's duct tape.
It's duct tape.
My bad, not painters. Now that the cake is in there, we're going to close her up. Close her up. Close her up. Oh my goodness. Be careful when you do this. You don't want to hit the sides of the cake. They are flimsy. You can even get packing boxes. I've seen people do that and they cut them to where the cake will fit in there.
Especially if you pre-assemble the cake.
Yep.
Like the ones from Lowe's. All right.
Okay.
It's already stronger.
The cake is taller than the box, so we're going to have to do some construction. Okay, so I have bubble straws. These straws I'm going to use to put in the cake on the third and second tier to hold the top cakes on top.
The structural support.
So it doesn't go in. Yeah, structural support. But I'm going to go ahead and set them in there so when we put this lid on, it won't touch the cake.
Yeah.
And then I'm also going to put saran wrap on it. But when you put your bubble straws in, make sure you put it in the right spot to where the smaller cake covers them.
So you know this is a, would you say 10-inch cake?
This is an 8-inch. That's a
6-inch. Yeah, so you want to go in 2 inches.
If you want to get it right, I know what I'm doing.
You're eyeballing, yeah.
I'm eyeballing. Boop.
That is a dense cake.
It's 3.
In the best way. That is not a slight. That is a good thing.
So this is just a 6-inch going on top. So I'm just going to put 4. All right. So now you do that, and look, it's protected, y'all.
It ain't hitting that icing.
Okay.
That was a real redneck. And there goes my voice.
Yep. Okay. So now we're going to tape them here.
There you go, boo.
On the sides.
Your house makes it sound more redneck. I don't know why. My accent's popping.
And then we're going to get saran wrap so we can cover it and debris don't get on that. So all you do is you wrap it around the front of it and then you tape it again.
Let me hold it. Go ahead and pull out, see how far we got. Ooh.
So I'm going to safely cut my saran wrap. Beep. We're going to wrap it around town. There we go. And then we want to get the,
So I was saying, if you cut the bubble straw just a smidge, that'll come down a little bit. Or we can just tape it.
It's already all taped up.
Okay, we'll tape it. All right. There you go, Steph.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I want you to do all the work. There we go.
It's not
don't
pretty,
make it. Don't make
matter.
it too tight to where it's going to go in on itself, but loose enough to where it's just perfect. Because if it's too loose, it'll go in also. All right.
Goes without saying, we have the air conditioning on in the car too. We're not doing windows.
I got this piece of wood at Michael's, and when I got it, it was so fresh and new. There was nothing on it, so I was like, I didn't like the look of it. And when you put the cake on, it would have seeped into it and changed the color.
Yeah.
So I just took my vegetable oil and put a little bit over the whole thing.
Smart.
That's another little trick.
You preconditioned it.
The little things, it counts. So I didn't find a box big enough for this.
For the Big Kahuna?
Yes, like I said, there was nothing available.
I don't think this one's going to slide. She's heavy.
Yeah, that one's pretty heavy. She's not going to slide. Slide to the left.
I like your ingenuity, though.
Well,
reduce, reuse, recycle.
So this is all I had. And we're going to use a pizza box for this big boy.
Did you get the $7.99 pickup special?
Yes.
That's the only way to do it.
And it's a little slightly bigger than this. I think it's a large, just so y'all know.
A large pizza?
Yeah.
I love it.
But that's something you have to, you want to know, you should know, is your sizes and what size boxes that you're going to get.
Here's one, bud.
Otherwise, you're going to be going to the store a lot. And not just the size of the cake. You need to factor in the size of the base.
It's all about that base, some would say.
All about that base. So we're going to do this again.
Yeah. So now this is a 12-inch.
This is a 10-inch.
10-inch, 8-inch, 6-inch. Got it. Okay.
Okay. Uno. So
I want to do one, but I put it in sideways once, and I'll never forgive myself, so I won't.
Okay, good. One over here. So pretty.
It looks like birthday candles.
Happy birthday to me.
It's coming up.
In a couple months. Okay, so I already noticed that it's going to hit
touch.
that. So I'm going to have to fold it. And then we're going to have to wrap it.
In what?
Saran wrap. How about you tape your side first?
I'd actually have to go around town.
Literally go around town, please.
We'll go over chow. I need a piece for the bottom.
I've never used a pizza box, so we'll see how this goes, guys. Ooh.
There we go. Make an anchor point. Anchor man.
Yeah. I feel like this will be fine.
Yeah.
Do we need to cut it?
Yeah, and then we could do another layer. That's why they call it cling wrap. Because it clings. Alright, taper. And then one here, and we should be good and covered. It's so heavy. I tried to pick it up with one hand.
Maybe one there.
Yeah, I agree. Okay.
And there you go, guys.
Ain't she a beaut?
Your rigged box. It works. This is touching. This is fine though, because this saran wrap is going to come off. Whenever you deliver cakes, you want to bring icing, spatula stuff, just in case there is a mess up, which there usually is.
Well, yeah, because when you connect them too, you have to do this stuff around each layer, so you're already planning on bringing it. It'll be fine though. And worst case, it can be the back.
Yeah, it can be the back, and you can cover up with decorations.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there we go, guys. Now we're going to get them to the car and bring them to the house. I got the small cake in my hands.
Watch out.
Nice and smooth. Alrighty. Alright. Here comes the big kahuna. Okay. Alright. They're not going to move around. It's pretty. I got that rubber down there, so they're good. So let's go. Be safe, use a rubber.
Oh, that's lower. The cakes are in the fall. Oh, I was like, okay. You forget they're in here. It's a sketchy road. Oh my God, I'm getting motions.
Got the cakes here, guys. Now we're just unwrapping them, and then we're gonna put them together. I think I was just cutting air there. I can fix that. That's why you always bring your tools and extra cream with you.
Just for where it touches and transfer. All right.
Okay. Let's get
I'll
this.
lift it up. You move the box. I did not fart. It was the sound the board made.
Okay, we're gonna fix these, and let's do this.
All right.
Okay, y'all, so I had to do a voiceover for this because there were people in there, but if you take a look where I pointed at, you want to cut where that icing stops at that straw. And then Teresa just takes the extra and she pushes it back in. Now, if you can only do it this way if your cake is level. If your cake is not level, it is going to fall over because the icing is going to be at different points in there. If you get what I mean, it's going to be different points because it's not level, so the icing is going to hit different points of the straw. So if it's not level, what you want to do is take out all the straws and cut them all the same and measure them. If your cake is level, you're fine to do it the way I'm doing it right now. I'm doing the same thing, and I cut them all, put them all in there. On this one, I should have done another straw and spread them out a little bit more, because it did, the top tier, the third tier did end up leaning, because you can see there's only 4 and they're not really out that far. So just make sure you put those, you separate those straws to the base of the board as well as you can. So I had another board underneath, and I transported it this way because it's easier to pick up the cake on the bigger board and just put the smaller board on top. So I'm just ungluing it from that bigger board. And there is a piece of cardboard on this cake as well on the bottom. So there was 2 cardboard pieces, the bigger one to move it around, and the smaller one that matches the cake that'll go on top of this tier that you see right now. And you always want to make sure before you drop it down, that it is all level and everything's in the middle. And I had Teresa help me with that. She eyeballed it, so. I did drop it down a little bit too close to that left edge there, as you can see, and I tried to move it, but it didn't really work out. So it's fine though, as long as it's close enough. And now I'm gonna do the top tier. I did the same thing. I had the small board underneath that matched the size of the cake, and then the bigger board just to transfer, ease of transportation and moving it around. And this is what I did. I just took some icing off to get my spatula underneath it to lift it up. Now I found this easier. Instead of just picking up off the table, I brought it to the edge and folded it over, and that was so much more easier to pick it up rather than using the spatula, and because it was just so heavy and the icing was like a glue, so it was hard to pick it up. Putting it over the edge made it a huge difference. That's the first time I've ever done that. This one was a little bit trickier just because it was just so small, and the way it was on my hands, it wasn't feeling right. So, and I didn't want it to fall over, so I decided to put the straw in the middle to use as leverage to put the cake on top of this, and it helped so much. And I'm just asking Teresa right here to tell me if it's centered or not. It wasn't going to work out the way I wanted, so I just had her use her side to help me put this on the cake. Maybe because it was just so small and tall, it just wasn't working out today for me. So you just have to sometimes find ways to do things. If I was by myself, I would have done it. I would have gotten it done either way, but it's always helpful to have somebody to help you. Okay, so I always bring extra icing with me so I can get that border nice and closed. And so I just piped on any spaces to fill that in, and then I'm going to use my spatula to fix it. You're always going to have an ugly part of the cake. Well, I do anyway. I'm not perfect. And you always try to look for that and put that in the back of the cake. Make that the back side of the cake, is what I should say. I messed up there, guys. That's okay. You can use your spatula and stuff to fix it. I really wish I had brought my turntable for this, because this would have helped out so much more to get those lines again.
but I had to work with what I had. And I'm not trying to make it perfect because there is going to be flowers and foliage on this cake. So you can definitely, if you're decorating it with things on it, you can hide any mistakes or anything like that very easily. Just want to thank my niece Grace for letting me finish this up at her house. It was so much easier than transporting all 3 tiers through the car, and that road to her house was very bumpy, so this probably would have been the leaning tower of wedding cake if I had transported it all together stacked. Okay, so I'm just pulling out that leverage I used for the top tier. Very easy. You can definitely, Teresa's just going to cover up that hole. There's going to be some flowers and a topper on here, so that doesn't have to be perfect either. Here we were just trying to decide where to put it, how we were going to put the flowers on, and we just set it like that. And it's so small, you can always move it. Don't worry about it. And then we're just deciding on where to place all the foliage and the flowers. There's so many ways you can do this. If you need inspiration or anything, you can always look on Pinterest or online somewhere, and they can show you what to do, or you can just see how other people do it. Teresa just did the green part, and she went around the cake. And we made sure that the best part of the cake that looked the best was in the front, and that's how we decorated it. We didn't really decorate the back. We just made sure that we had everything we needed for the front first and the sides. And cakes always don't look that great if they're not smooth icing until all the decoration is on there. You look at it and you're like, oh, this is ugly, but you got to hold on, and then it's going to look fantastic once it's done. Those little berries are so cute that I'm so glad I grabbed those. Those were just, the little touches just make it. When I decided to do the left-right decoration for the flowers, just because that's the kind of style that they showed me that they wanted. But you can also do like a staircase, or you don't even have to put flowers all over the cake. Kind of just do what you want to do and what you think would look best. But this design is a very popular one with the flowers and how it's placed. I did get all my flowers in greenery at Walmart. You just go up there and you grab it, and make sure you get scissors to cut them up, to pull them apart. To cut them apart, I should say. Because there is wires in there. And there she is. Isn't she pretty? Once it all comes together, it looks good.
Okay, guys, we made it.
You're out of breath?
Yes. I am out of breath.
It was
stressful because the road, when they said it was bumpy, they weren't wrong.
We went through the 7 layers of the Shepherdsville forest.
Yeah, we did. It was very hilly and rocky. It was a back road, but it got here.
Calling it a road is being generous.
It's a private road, probably, that everybody fixes.
Sure, we'll say they maintain it.
You know what I mean?
Wink.
That's what everybody does on these kind of roads, though. So,
but we made it. We did it.
Yep.
Cake didn't die. It's a billion degrees outside. Here's a pro tip. Don't live anywhere where they have summers.
wow. So, Antarctica.
Yeah, I'm moving. I'm moving. Then you can make cakes there and not have any worries.
But I hope y'all enjoyed this process.
Ain't she cute?
If you are thinking about doing wedding cakes or anything, it is stressful.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't do this full time.
Anything to deal with weddings is really stressful.
Yes. But you do make the money if you're into it.
Pro tip, elope. Yeah.
That would be the easy one.
Yeah.
And then make your own cake. Yeah. I showed you how.
Exactly.
All right, y'all. Until the next time.
Bye.